Hello guys, today I'll show you some of my R&D, how you are going to make large scale smoke inside Maya fluid. So you can see here we have the final output, and this has been done in Maya fluid. To get this kind of effect, you have to go to your disk and you have to go to your rendering and click on this Lambert and go to Lambert, click on this color, and you have to take noise texture and press 6 key to see the texture here. Now here we have the texture. First thing is that amplitude is like one kind of contrast, so make it 2, and here we have this noise type. We have to make this parallel noise. Now you can see that we do have some noise texture on it, so the white area is going to emit smoke and the black area is not going to emit smoke. But here I don't have any kind of animation at all. To get the animation I have to use this time. So right click on this and click on this create new expression. Select this one, middle mouse, drag and drop here, and equals to time star 2, create. So once you have this expression, you can see a purple color in your time slot. And if I play now, you can see the texture is playing but is very fast. So the thing is that you have to deal with this playback. In this case, we have this playback speed is every frame. You have to make it 24 FPS. So once you do that, you can see a very smooth result in your animation. So this is the texture part of this tutorial. And by this motion, you'll get a very nice motion of your fluid simulation. Second thing is that you have to go to your FX, fluid and 3D container. And here you have to make it reset settings, and I don't need any kind of emitter. Create and close this, and we have this fluid container. First thing is that we have to place this container according to our choice. And now select both of them, go to your fluid, add emit section and go to emit from object. So now you can see in your object you have fluid emitter. So select the fluid emitter, and we do have to have some changes here. So the density method is add. We need this density for the smoke, but we don't need any heat or fuel because of both of them is useful for fire. In this case, I'm not going to use any kind of fire, so I don't need that. So now we have this number. I need to make it 10. So you'll get a thick smoke in your ash cloud. So this is this map that I have used here. The name is noise 1. Enter. You can see that we have this map is connected in here. That means is what? The emitter is now the texture, not the object at all. So the black area is not going to emit any kind of fluid, only the white area and this is the thing. Now moving on, go to your turbulence, and here we have to increase this turbulence and make it 10, and your turbulence detail, make it 1. So this is the changes you have to do in your emitter, and I do this kind of changes in my all simulation. So now we have to do some work in your fluid container itself. So this is the fluid container. The base resolution is gonna be 100, and the size I'm not going to change at all. We have this boundary X is gonna be none, and boundary Z is gonna be none, and boundary Y is gonna be minus Y. Y minus Y because of Y is upside and minus 1 is downside. So the fluid will interact with the floor. That is why we have kept it minus Y. Now we have this content method, we have density, velocity. Temperature is off, fill is also off, so I don't need any temperature fill. I'll do earlier that I'm not going to use any kind of fire. Moving on to display, we have this grid, so I don't need that grid. So go to your boundary draw, and we have to use this bounding box to simplify your container. We have this dynamic simulation, and first thing is that we have viscosity. We have to use this 0.01. Dampening is 0.025. Dampening is for minimize the speed of your velocity. So this is one kind of decay, you can say. Now we have this high detail solve, make it all grid. That means is what everything will be calculated by this solver. Now substeps is very important for quality, so make it 2, and the solver quality is going to be 2 to 5. Now these settings will take huge time to simulate, but you'll get a better result, or I should say best result in your simulation. Now you're using these substeps, so you have to emit from substeps option. So this is all for your dynamic simulation, and go to your auto resize option. You have this auto resize option, but you have also this resize closed boundaries. I don't have any closed boundaries, my boundary is open, so I don't need to use this option. Max resolution I'm going to make it 450, and I have to use this auto resize threshold, make it 0, and auto resize margin, make it 6. By doing so, you are not going to clipping any kind of fluid with your container. This is a very useful feature. Now we have content details and density. First thing we need to deal with dissipation. So dissipation is gonna be 0.05. It's a very less amount, because in ash cloud or lower scale smoke will have very little amount of dissipation. Pressure, you're going to make the pressure 1.25. That means is what? That your fluid is going up, and you can expand your fluid. So this is the pressure, and pressure threshold, make it 0.1. You can make it 0 also. So in this case, I'm going to make it 0.1. Noise. Noise means I don't need that noise. If you use this noise, you will get artifact. So tension, I'm going to make this 0.01, and tension force, I'm going to make it 0.05, and gradient force, I'm going to make it 35. I have checked it and I have got a good result with these settings. Now moving on to your velocity. Velocity is, we have swirl. Swirl is very important for rolling smoke. So you have to make it 10, and the noise I'm going to use is 1. Go to your turbulence, and the strength is extremely important to get rid of your mushroom shape from your fluid simulation. So what I have to do, you have to go to your 5th number frame and make your strength 10, and right click and set a key, and go to 6th frame and make 0.1 and set a key. So this is how you can get rid of your mushroom shape. So from 1 to 5 we have 10. After that we have 0.1 turbulence. So this is it. This is I use in my all simulations. So now we have to use this shading. Go to your shading and we have seen that drop off shape. Drop off shape is off because of where it is going to emit. This has to be very strong and thick. If you have something, it will be not thick. So I have to make it off to make the source to get more thick smoke from that source. Color, you can change it to gray, but this is totally up to you. Incandescence for your fire, I don't need that. Opacity is a very useful feature. Now in this opacity is very confusing, but I'm going to tell you that this area is for trail of your fluid. This area is for base of your fluid. So your trail has to be very soft. So this is why I'm going to make a very smooth curve in it. So you'll get a very good result in your trail when dissipation happens. Now you have input bias here. Make it 0.1 to get more smoke into your container. And go to your shading quality. Shading quality, make it smooth, but this is only for rendering, not for playblast. Now go to lighting and choose a self shadow, and this is also for playblast, not for actual lighting. So this is for your shading purpose, and I use these settings for all of my fluid simulation. So one more thing is this, that I need to get some direction like 45 degree. So I have to use a gravity. So go to your force and we have seen that gravity here. And gravity is there, make this magnitude 70. Magnitude is the power of the gravity. And direction, we have seen that X, Y, Z. So -1 means it is going down. Gravity means like that only. But I need to make this smoke rise up. So we have to make it 1. and I need to use another gravity, and in this case the magnitude has to be the same, and this direction, so you can see that this is plus z, the opposite side is going to be minus z. X, y, and z, so this is going to be minus 1. So that means is what? One gravity is pulling up, one gravity is pulling right. So the fluid is going to rise in 45 degree. So I am using this gravity for directional purpose. So this is a new technology to work with. So now I need to run a cache. So keep in mind that fluid simulation means cache. And cache means 50 GB, 30 GB, more than that. So you have to have some GBs in your hard drive. So you have to get rid of this grid. So now we don't need that. We don't need this gray background. So Alt B to make this black. And select this one, press Alt H. Everything will be hidden, but your fluid will be visible. And I don't need this box also when I'm going to make a play blast. So we have to go to your display. Here you can see that drawing boundary draw and make it none. This is how we can see that that box is gone. If you need to select anything, so you can select that thing from the outliner. To make the cache happen, you have to go to your FX caching, and this is a button for caching, but I like to do it from here and cache. Create a new cache, go for Maya Fluid option box, and then you have this cache options here. Cache directory, you have to specify this. So in this case, I'm going to put it in desktop for this tutorial purpose. So make a cache folder, and in this folder I'm going to put my caches. Now see this cache name, I'm going to make this smoke, and this file distribution has to be one file per frame, because of if you have 300 frames and suddenly in 50 frames your file got corrupted or your machine got restarted, so you can make the simulation from 51 frame. So you don't need to resimulate all the frames that has been done previously. In this one file, that the only one cache will be generated. So you will not knowing that what is the last frame that you have to start with. So now you can see we have some caches here. We are using density, we are using velocity, but we are not using any temperature, fuel and color and texture coordinate. So what we have to do that, what we need, we have to check this on. And this is the simple cache option. And now I'm going to make a cache, create this. Now we have the cache, we have cached it out only 40 frames because of it will take huge time to make 120 frames or 300 frames cache for this tutorial. So if I go to your cache folder, you can see that we do have caches here. And I need to make a play blast to see that how it looks in real life, real uh, speed. So go to your play blast option box, and you have the format is AVI, make it image, and encoding is gonna be Maya, that means E file. The scale is going to be 1, and you can save the file here in a cache folder and put the name smoke here and save this and create a play blast. Now we have got our play blast, and I can see this is a very nice looking fluid simulation for only 40 frames, and this is exactly looking like our final version of fluid simulation. So this is the final simulation I have showed you earlier, and this is 300 frames we have here. So hope you have liked it. Thanks a lot for watching.